All right, happy Sunday. Welcome to another BSN Live webcast here in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining me today. Today we have a special event. I think we're going to start planning these once a month where we can start connecting with more people on BSN for Pros on Facebook, social media, you name it. So you're welcome to jump in anytime. Go ahead and give me a DM or a message to join our mastermind group here in Las Vegas, BSN for Pros, or find us on YouTube. So today is a special day because we're going to be talking about local businesses. How can they support the community? And today I have two special guests I want to introduce you, but our main guest, or our main, I would say, our authority, or someone who knows much more about networking, connecting with local businesses, Analyn Braza. She is the vice president of the local charter here in Las Vegas of BNI, which, if you guys don't know, BNI has been around for many years. They're just a networking organization that's been around. They're out there all over the world. And let's bring Analyn on for a second. Let me introduce, and she'll say hello. Hello, Analyn. Good morning.
Hi, Ben. Good morning. Hi, everyone.
All right. Let's work on the introduction. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am Analyn Braza, and I am the founder and web designer of WebKitty Creative Services. I'm also the vice president of our local BNI chapter, Westside Winners, here in Las Vegas. So we are going around supporting other business owners and growing their business through referrals. And I'm talking about quality referrals. We're not talking about, just, hey, this person needs your service. No, that's not how we work. But hopefully we get to learn more today about how we also support the community.
Thank you, Analyn. I appreciate that. And I have another special guest, filmmaker, movie producer, you name it. The guy, if you are not paying on social media with Instagram, Facebook, he's out there just promoting his new movie called The Bad Boxer. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Moe McCoy. Good morning, Mo. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing?
All right, good. Tell everyone about yourself, what you're up to, and let's just give a little introduction.
Hey, my name is filmmaker Moe McCoy. I'm a film producer, independent. I own a company called Fireproof TV Films. We're a full-service production company. One of my personal goals is to make 100 films. I'm on film number 50, and that's my movie, The Bad Boxer. We're taking it on a premiere tour, going to several cities in the United States to show the movie and do like red carpet events. So more information about that at redcarpetevent.info.
Well, thank you, Mo. I appreciate you coming in. Make sure you guys, if you guys are watching this live or you're watching on YouTube, you can put in the comments #replay, #hello, what's going on. Just give it a hi in the comments below. So let's just bring everyone in on the floor. Is everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. So let's open the table up. I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm going to open it up for you, Analyn, because you are I would say the expert, right? The expert in what we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about how local business can support the community. So let's go into you. What are your thoughts, and what can people or local businesses go out there? I don't have a business. I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. I'm trying to work on really building my personal business, personal brand. I'm a sales guy. I love connecting with people I work for. I've always been in sales, but you're out there working with local businesses out here in Las Vegas. So let's talk about that. Or how can even someone like myself or Mo go out there and really connect with the community?
Oh, well, first off, to start off, you don't try anything. You either are being, doing, or having. So one of the greatest idea, big picture thinking, is if every business can support a community. Let's say every business can support a nonprofit, every month. Every business can engage. So just like social media, engagement is everything. Engagement, your likes, your comments, the shares, it is everything. And so if a business is supporting a nonprofit or engaging in some sort of community project every month, I mean, that business is already very valuable to the community and to the people that they serve. So those are important things to think about. And with me being as part of the chapter for BNI Westside Winners, we are growing our chapter to include education, lifelong learning, and the core values that BNI represents, which is givers gain. So what we're giving, what energy we're giving forward, we're going to get back. So whatever we're doing for the community, it's a guarantee that you're going to get something back from that, whether it's recognition about your company, whether, and companies are built successfully through these business relationships with these business owners. So, who is how you're going to be successful. So
I totally agree. I'm going to bring Moe into the conversation. Moe, I appreciate you, my friend. Now, you as a local, as a filmmaker, when you start, you're working with a lot of local businesses out there. You are out there. You're like, I would say, you're networking to make those relationships. Tell us like a little bit about what you do, or how you communicate, or how you talk to people, because you have to get support from them to support your projects in some cases, right? You have to. So tell us a little bit just your experiences, or just tell us a little bit about that.
Well, one way is I like to go to events, and then at the event, my job is to speak to everybody in the room, not just the people that are visually pleasing. I just think about, okay, somebody in here could possibly need my help putting their business into a film or on video, and so I just talk to everybody. I just go right up to them and introduce myself. Hi, my name is filmmaker Moe McCoy. I'm a local filmmaker here working on movies and stuff like that. What do you do? And then that sparks the conversation, and we talk. And I love learning about other people's businesses and stuff like that. So it works out pretty good. And it's just it's just about meeting one new person a day to me. Meet one person, and now that person is aware of what you do, and so it's just basically grassroots. And I'm always wearing my company, so I'll wear my logo everywhere I go. So then that's a good thing to get people to ask questions. I have my own line of hats that I wear, and people love to ask me about those hats, and then that just jumps off a conversation, and not just meeting people, but you gotta follow up with them, and just stay in communication, just lock in that relationship. It's not like that, I immediately want something from them. I just want to get their awareness onto what I'm doing and learn more about what they're doing, because I don't know how I can help them until I know what they're doing.
I got you. All right, so we're going to bring everyone on the floor here. So Analyn, let's talk about challenges, about the community, and about just how support. What do you think are the challenges that local business owners are having, or local businesses that what are like some of the maybe excuses, right, that people say why they can't do what they're go out there support the community? What do you hear?
Well, some of the challenge that I've seen a lot of people face is because we're just coming out of the whole pandemic situation. During the pandemic, a lot of locations, a lot of businesses had to close down. So what are they doing that's kind of helping them get back up, or starting themselves up again, or just getting back on track? So it kind of made us kind of take a step back from everything, and just to kind of strategize. Like, it's a great time to strategize is when you're on vacation, when you're well, not necessarily on vacation. Like if you're sick for a week, even take care of yourself, of course, but also think about what you can do better, because now's the time for you to slow down and actually think about. So one of the issues that some nonprofits have, and this is by experience, just me being in that situation, is that before the pandemic, they had all of these clients, all these customers, donors, all of that. And then after the pandemic, all of a sudden, almost half a percentage of them are gone, or they're no longer part of the group, or that relationship was never nurtured throughout the whole time. So now they're gone, So now the nonprofits or organization are like, well, we used to have volunteers, or we used to have these donors, but now they're gone. What did we do wrong? Well, just think about it. During the pandemic, we never really sent out emails. We didn't send out any cards. You know, so same thing with building that business relationship. When you meet someone at a networking event, how are you keeping that relationship? Yeah, you get their business card, you have an awesome, amazing chat. Then you go and follow up and say, hey, let's meet on Zoom or let's meet for coffee. And then all of a sudden that person was no longer, you no longer contact that person. Why? What was it that stopped you from doing that? So it's really important, you know, it's really important. And I, you know, agree with Mo, follow up is important. It is. Because sometimes you go to that mixer and you're like, you're getting all these business cards, but are you sending these people emails and saying, hey, it was great meeting you at the networking event? Maybe you got distracted and you just forgot. So those are kind of things we have to think about.
Yeah, I totally agree. I
We
totally
have to
agree.
slow down and think about that.
Yeah, the continuation of the relationship, right? Mo, let's bring it back to you. The continuation of the relationship, like the follow up, like keeping that connection. What are the things that I would say? Because it's really easy to ask questions, say, hey, how do you do that? Or what's your secret sauce? But I want to say, like, what's something that someone has done to you to like irritate you in a way where like it doesn't work, right? Like sometimes some relationships don't work. Someone maybe try to continue in and say, hey, maybe they failed at the communication. Like they said, oh, you know, let's talk, because it's so easy to say, oh, you know what's the secret? Oh, I'm gonna follow up a text once a week. But like literally, what has someone done to you personally? Because I know you've had a lot of experiences where you're like, hey man, like this guy's just messaging me like every other day, or this guy just messaged me 6 months later. Now he wants $1,000. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of different instances that I could talk about. I think one thing is what I don't like is when you are communicating with somebody and then they don't communicate back. You know what I mean? In a timely manner, like when you message somebody on Messenger, they can see it. You can see they saw it, but then they don't respond. I mean, it's not that everyone has to respond quickly like that, but it's just a mutual respect when somebody's talking to you, and you know, sometimes you got to just lay back if they're not answering. I just move on to the next person. You know what I mean? But at least I did what I was there to do. I was there to spark the communication and keep it going and try to see if we can work something out. But it's not all the time that people are interested in. And then you got some people that would blow your inbox up before you can respond. So, you know, on the other hand, I have people who would just send me 1,000 messages or very, very long text messages. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to, it's just too much to consume so much online every day and then actually have to live out here in the real world. You know what I mean? So quick, small, short messages, that's easy. But those big, long messages, I'm not going to spend 10 minutes reading.
I totally agree with you, man. I can't. I get messages like this long. I'm like, I can't even. I don't have time to read that. And the one I don't mind getting voice messages in my messenger or whatever, or voicemails, right, from people that I know or people I'm expecting from. But I've never met you. If we never had a conversation, like something I could have read in 2 seconds, I'll have like a message. A voice message, and it's a pitch, right? Like, hey man, I really like your phone.
Like, having that conversation, I was like, Mo, like if you go into a networking event and someone just goes up to you and hands you a business card and say, I do this, are you even gonna want to listen? You're just gonna start walking away. You're just like, okay, you could have asked how my day was or how am I doing, you know? So I feel like networking is more about, if we enter into that situation, we should enter with intention of giving something to them. Like I enter in a situation where it's like, hey, how's it going? How's your day going? You know, oh, you're a CPA. You know, if they start talking and say, yeah, this is what I do, I'm a CPA. Oh, you're a CPA. Shoot, I have some friends that I can introduce you to. So you're already giving something right there. I have friends that I can introduce you to, and they're willing to give you referrals to grow your business if you're interested. you know, and that's just the kind of environment that I like being in. And those are the networkings that I want to go to. I don't want to hear about your services because I might not align with it, but I
Mhm.
might know people that do, but I got to trust you first before I can give you that.
Right.
And that's kind of the attitude you have to bring into the networking scene. You know what I mean? So building relationships is important. So if you approach a situation where you're just talking about yourself, no one's going to listen.
Yeah,
You know?
I was
They're
watching this YouTube video. This guy's a realtor. He was calling, and he was talking. He goes, my only goal is just to have a good conversation. That's it. It's like, I'm not trying to sell it. I just want to have a good conversation. And and people are like standoffish. I mean, he wants to sell houses. I get it. Um, but I goes, my goal is just to have just a good conversation. Because like if I can have just one good conversation during these calls, I think he's like, and he's already done well. And I think it's the same way, right? Just have a good conversation and talking about who you are, what you're doing, your life, your family, and then
yeah.
this motion, right? Everything gets kind of weird if all of a sudden I'm like, hey, my name is Ben. I'm selling these, I always go, I'm selling these tapes. Would you like to buy some tape? You're like, I don't need tape, man.
You're gonna run out every time you go on the move.
Yeah.
That's funny, guys. Mo, I want to bring it back to you, Mo. With your movie and with the movies, how are you working with businesses and how are you working? Because you are out there. Um, like, can you share a story with like just about like a time that you worked with a local business? You don't have to name any names, right? Just local business, and it turned out it made it a success. Like what you had to do or what you did, and then all of a sudden things worked out in your favor. Like it like okay, like I got nervous, things could have gone bad, but I know you have some good stories. So can you share a story with us?
I got a great one. We decided to do free online uh, business videos to just get businesses more exposure to our audience, and so I volunteered to do one for Jamming on Vegas, a local tie dye business in Las Vegas, and we went and we spent the whole day working alongside of them while they were making tie dye shirts. They were doing a big order for Planet 13, and we filmed, did a lot of B-roll interviews, interviewed every employee, and then we did the editing right there on the spot, just to work side by side with them doing what we do and let them do what they do. And we created a video, and they loved it so much that the next week later they came back and paid us a nice amount for the video. And so that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? I wasn't there to get paid. I was there to just show what we can do and get that business out there to our audience. So it just goes to show, you don't have to get paid every time you go do something. Give one of your business items or services away, and then like she said, like Anna said, that's giving, and you receive. It
Yeah.
makes sense.
I want to bring it back to Analyn because she's out there working with nonprofits, and she gives a lot of her time, and she's super focused on the nonprofits side of it, right? So Analyn, I really want to focus on the nonprofits. What nonprofits are you working with, and what are you doing with the nonprofits? Like, share about that because I think more people need to know about that.
Sure. So one of the nonprofits that I work with is Global Charity Foundation. And what they support is that all their donations go straight to educational programs for Las Vegas for, children's from K-12 to high school now, to get them educated because there are sixth graders out there that are reading in a third grade level. Okay, so it makes no sense. Let's catch them up. So these educational programs help those at-risk youth to kind of get them back on track. So it's very important. Education is important, especially for the children around here. They also do healthcare programs. So they're doing cancer treatments for children in India. The founder, Dr. Rita Thukral, she actually is from India. So she supports, the children that are in India who have cancer, who can't afford a regular hospital or treatment from doctors and amazing doctors and stuff. And these are kids that live out in the streets, So she loves helping those kind of people. I also support a local non-chapter called the Joy Academy. So the Joy Academy, what they do is they help a lot of families, their children, kind of get into like doing stuff like gardening, getting them productive. So it's more of a lifelong learning kind of environment. And myself, as being a lifelong learner, where I like joined the ROTC in high school, I joined, all these after school activities because I just want to continue to learn and learn and learn. So these are very important nonprofits. I mean, there are so many out there. There's cat rescues, animal rescues. If you really love animals, put yourself engaged with that type of nonprofit. Put yourself in there and volunteer. If you want to feed the hungry people or feed the homeless once a month. I worked with Mark Saint back in the day when, I don't know if he's still doing this now, but every month he would have a Feed the Homeless Day where he goes out there in the streets and he brings clothing and they bring food and people are donating to help these people, bringing water out there. It's hot out here in Vegas. So those are just certain things. So if you are just sitting at home bored watching Netflix, let's do something for the community. We can put our energy out there, just like Moe does. He put his energy out there. He wasn't expecting himself to get paid for it. I didn't either when I first started my business. I was giving away free websites, but it started a foundation for me. It brought me together with the community and it helped me get out there. People know about me because of it. So it's very important.
Yeah. Hey Mo, what nonprofits? I know you're working up. I know you're busy, man. What's your support? Like if I saw this and then said, let's say you made a movie. I mean, you do make movies, and let's say one day you got like $1 million check, right? And I know you're gonna like buy some new shoes, some new shirts and stuff, but like let's say like there's something that you said, I want to go out and support something, or you already are. What's your passion? What's out there in the community here in Las Vegas that you see that needs more support?
Every week in the inner city there in Las Vegas, I definitely would support them more and just having $1 million check would kind of free up my time even more. So I'd be more hands-on down there. And I also help Feed and Read. There's a nonprofit organization that gives away children's books and all over the country. Feed and Read, it's a great thing because reading is fundamental and eating healthy is how you learn. So I think that's a great thing. I'm also involved with water. I got my own water brand. It's called Moe Water, and it's just a brand where I approve different water. When I was in Houston, I worked with an alkaline company, and I tested the different waters and what was good and what was not good. So the waters that I tested that are good, I put the Moe Water stamp on there. Eventually that's going to be a company with our own water as well, because I think in the desert that's a very thing that people need. And we also deal with mental health. Our movie Frequent Visitors that's on Tubi is about mental health awareness, and we have our own nonprofit organization that we're starting, and it's called Expose Shame, and it's share honestly and motivate everyone. So we talk to people when they're having a mental breakdown and things like that. So I love giving back, and I think that's what we're gonna do for a long time. And even with movies, I give new people opportunity to be in a movie. Other people I mean, other film companies don't. You got to audition and hope that you get in. With us, everybody that comes to our events, they get casted into our films, even if it's their first time, and we're able to teach, them how to act and get on the screen. So it's a lot of fun.
I think something we all have in common is that we care about the kids, right? I think it's about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Children. I have 3 daughters myself, and then you talk about mental health, and you talk about the what's happening today in the world. You hit you just like woke me up a little bit, Mo, when you said mental health. I do believe children today need a lot of guidance more than ever because how the world is working, right? There's so much stimulation. There's so much.
They're exposed to a lot of things.
You're exposed to much. I remember when I was a kid, like it was my bike and my GI Joes and the dirt and the mud. That's all I had, really.
And then, it's like, hey, when the lights turn on, that's when you come home. We didn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
Like
and then my kids now, they know so much more. I have a 7-year-old, and the conversations I have to explain to her. I don't talk to her like a little kid. I have to really make sure that I say the right. It's like almost I have to it's like simplifying a communication with her as an adult, right? Because I'm like, man, this kid's smart. The kids are smarter nowadays, but they're absorbing so much information. But I think that may be part of the whole mental. This is me. Part of the mental health is they're absorbing. They're sponges, right?
And what happens is that our brain just keeps it's spinning so much. That's why we have these little spinners and things. We just like lose a lot of focus because there's so much going on. You're listening to your mom, you're watching your tablet, you're playing video games, whatever it is. You have to go to school. It's like we're being pushed to do so much all the time. We don't get to take a step back. The only time we can take a step back is if our family takes us fishing. When do they have time to do that? They're always working because they're trying to stay on top of the bills, trying to put clothes on our back, feed us.
Sure. Sure. No, I agree. There's an expectation in the parents, or a lot of us, we have kids, and we're like, even if you talk about feeding, right? We talked about reading. You talked about, we some parents just, okay, I can't feed the kids. I don't want to cook. I'll go right to the drive-through, right? And then they're eating. And I've done it. I'm not saying I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty. I'm like, I'll just take it to the drive-thru instead of going home and even if it's simple of putting a peanut butter jelly sandwich, I'm like, okay, we'll just go to the drive-thru and you guys will do that.
Crock pot does wonders. Just put it in the night before and then you got food the next day.
Yeah. And it's just about just having those conversations. And I do believe the more we talk about it, the more we're aware of it. And it's not many people want to admit that they're not that they're living like this perfect. I'm not living this perfect life. I'm telling you this, that we make mistakes all the time. I watched the social, and here's the thing about the social media, and I stepped back a little bit because I didn't want to portray myself as this person that's doing everything right or has all the answers, or like I'm living this grand life. I really wanted to be as authentic as it is and going, hey, I hit a wall. This is my struggle. I'm going through this. This is what I went with my kids. And there's I admit to you that like that whole the social media thing, or not even social, but the technology, right? The technology really does affect their mind, and I see that, and I do have to put those walls on them. So, anything else you guys want to talk about?
Well, mental health was definitely a good conversation to talk about.
Because we should bring that up. What do you think about that, Mo? Maybe we'll do that next month. We'll talk about mental health.
We should definitely bring it up.
Yeah, we should talk about mental health.
Maybe help people create some strategies around that. What can really make a difference? Yeah. Like, before I start my day, I do journal writing, I meditate, or I do yoga in the morning. Sometimes I do it before I go to bed because it just calms my mind before I go to bed. Just things like that. And it's really important to put just those extra 5 to 10 minutes in your routine to kind of get you back on track, slow you down a little bit. And it doesn't work for everyone. Everyone has a way of doing it the way that they want to do it. Maybe just going for a walk in the morning, taking their dog out, going for a walk, having a smoke break, whatever, those kinds of things. So whenever you have a time to actually think or at least be by yourself, that's like the most important thing. Everybody doesn't want to be by themselves anymore. It's like, I want to be with somebody, or somebody has to be here. Somebody has to sleep next to me, or somebody, you know, I gotta have my hands held. Well, you can't go on like that. You know what I mean? And, you know, when it comes to mental health, it's really important to really focus, you know, on that. And some people need guidance. So be that person, be their guidance.
Yeah. Mo,
I
any thoughts on that?
completely agree. Yeah, I agree. What they taught me in school at Full Sail in a university, they said to do a digital detox. You know, disconnect from your phone, your computer, your TV, go do something else in nature. When I'm in Michigan, I go walk at this park. I call it McCoy Park. You know, I'm visualizing it as my own park. You know what I mean? And I go out there and just connect with the nature, walk around, look at the water, and that just you know frees me up. It feels good. You know what I mean? To just disconnect from your digital things that are draining you. You know, and meditation is great. Exercise is another thing that helps
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
power your brain. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I felt, I guys, like I said, you know, we get caught up in these things, and I'll be honest with you, like, you know, I've been starting a new job, and I haven't like my exercises. I haven't exercised as much as I should be doing. Your diet changes when we start. I really want to bring in mental health next time we have a cover mental health, working to get working, and how like we can just find the time, because we can always say, oh, I'm really busy, right? I got to go back to work. I got to keep working. And then I'm like, I'll be at my desk for like, you know, 8 hours. And I'll just, my exercise will be just to run to the kitchen, get some water, and come back. I'm like, oh, that was my work. That was my workout. And then I'm like, by the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I'm too tired. But it's good to bring up. So with that, guys, thank you so much for your time. We'll talk about, I think this is a great subject. Next time we'll bring up is mental health.
yeah,
And just kind of like really for ourselves and for our kids, right? For ourselves and for the kids. And we'll tie it in with like what projects are out there that we can go out and just give shout outs to, or connect, or find out, you know, like who's out there doing that. So, all right, with that, guys, thank you so much. Have a great week. Make sure if you guys are watching this live, you give it a little replay, #replay, say hello. Make sure you give Analyn Braza a like on Facebook. Give her a request. Moe McCoy, you find him on social media. You guys want to give any shout outs before we go?
yes. I want to say we're on a tour right now. I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Next stop is Chicago, Illinois. We can use your help at blessthettour.com. You can be a part of it. Everybody that donates will get a shout out on the actual content that we're making for the tour. We're making a movie on tour, so it's awesome, man.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching.
Anything you want to say, Analyn, before we go?
Well, I just want to say that we have another Vegan Wonderland Las Vegas event coming out. June 25th, it's going to be a night event, and it's market, and they're going to have yoga. They're going to have, you know, a lot of markets, vegan food vendors, and all of the people that you could ever meet that is supporting the community right now. So definitely come out, check out veganwonderlandlv.com, and just watch for updates there.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.